And the majority in Parliament has criticized the Minority Caucus for what it deems political hypocrisy regarding the opposition to tax waiver requests for companies participating in the one district, one factory policy. Now, the majority argues that the previous National Democratic Congress NDC administration provided substantial tax exemptions, notably granting over $800 million in tax waivers to Meridian Port Services. Addressing journalists, the majority leader Alexander Afenyo-Markin called on the minority group to support these tax waiver requests. There is more in the following report.
The One District, One Factory aims to secure approximately $335 million in tax exemptions for 42 companies. This initiative is part of the government's broader policy to transform Ghana's economy from one that relies heavily on the import and export of raw materials to one focused on manufacturing, value addition, and the export of processed goods. However, this move has been met with significant opposition from the minority in Parliament. They argue that the government's request for tax exemptions, which amount to billions of cedis, are excessive and have the characteristics of organized crime. Their stance is that such large-scale tax waivers are unjustifiable and detrimental to the country's economic health. In response, the majority leader in Parliament, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, has accused the minority of political hypocrisy. He suggests that the opposition is being inconsistent in their criticism, given that similar practices occurred under the previous Mahama-led government.
MPS was exempt from corporate income tax for 10 years and a reduced corporate tax of 15% after 10 years for additional 5 years. Again, MPS was excluded from paying taxes on dividend to shareholders for 20 years. When I describe the NDC as being politically hypocritical, I say so with emphasis and ground same on fact. These were people who were in government, did the worst in government. And you have a new government that is taking this country to a new level of industrialization, well-guided and well-regulated. They will come and criticize. They gave one company, MPS, a tax waiver of $832 million.
Afenyo-Markin highlighted instances where companies unlawfully benefited from tax waivers during Mahama's administration, implying that the current criticisms are politically motivated rather than based on principle.
The NDC administration, unconstitutionally, illegally, and immorally, without parliamentary approval, designated some companies as strategic investors by GIPC and granted tax waivers without recourse to parliament. Let me give you the names of these companies. 1, Jatta Cement. Jatta Cement. Jatta Cement was a company that benefited from this unconstitutional, illegal tax incentive. We all know, by the imperative of the Constitution, it's only Parliament that can impose tax or waive taxation.
For the majority, the minority caucus must shun its hypocritical attitude and support the government's quest of industrializing the economy by supporting the approval of tax waiver requests currently before the Finance Committee. Reporting from Parliament, my name is Ni Ayikweyi Okain for Citi News.